I would like to thank all of the organizers and especially the Hellenic American Chamber of Commerce, which is a big supporter of research and innovation and of the innovation ecosystem in Greece. Elevate Greece started because we didn't know how many startups we had, in which sector they were, how many people they employed, what budgets they have, and when you don't have data, it's difficult to implement policies that will have a greater impact. So we wanted to map the innovation ecosystem in Greece. We did achieve that, but we wanted to do, as you said, something more dynamic, something more useful for the innovation ecosystem. So we did create a set of policies, public policy tools for the innovation ecosystem, including the legislation for the first time of financial incentives for angel investors, for stock options, for increased equity during the pandemic crisis, which was much needed in the innovation ecosystem. But apart from public policy tools, it's extremely important to see how we can attract the private sector in the innovation ecosystem, or even institutional actors like the Hellenic American Chamber of Commerce. And we're very proud to say that all of the Greek banks, for example, became official partners of Elevate Greece by providing specified banking products for the startups of Elevate Greece. Multinational companies provide access to global innovation centers they have, or to free cloud services, to mentoring services. Institutional actors, as I said, like the Hellenic American Chamber of Commerce, do provide a wide network of companies and expertise that they have that can be useful for the innovation ecosystem. So it has already evolved in the 2 years that is operating to something much larger than a startup registry. And our main goal is to see how we can increase the extroversity of the Greek innovation ecosystem. That's why we want to see how we can plug and play with other important actors of the global ecosystem, try to see how we can build bridges with other ecosystems, and Elevate Greece will be transformed into a company working under the public sector but with private sector economic criteria, aiming to see how we can increase this much needed extroversity of the ecosystem.
Well, thank you very much. It seems that you have a plan here, and hopefully it will be materialized soon.
Okay. One of the strategic goals of this government has been to link research and innovation much more effectively with entrepreneurship. So we have been promoting important actions, for example, for the creation of innovation clusters, for the creation of competence centers. We have the creation of technology transfer offices within our institutions, academic institutions, research centers, and universities. We did change our law, the framework law, regarding the operation of spin-off companies, simplifying importantly the procedure to enabling talented researchers and academics to create their own companies. We are also promoting an important action making use of the community money called Research Innovate of 300 million, which tries to link academic research with entrepreneurship and innovation. But at the same time, we have also given important financial incentives, tax incentives to companies that invest in R&D. For example, we increased the tax super deduction rates from 100 for expenses in research and development from 130% to 200%, therefore having the most competitive framework in the European Union in this sector, and having attracted important companies in R&D in the last 2.5 years. So one of our goals was to increase R&D expenditure in the country. And we're very proud to say that in the last year, we did see the largest increase in R&D expenditure that the country has ever seen. But still, we are very eager to have a larger year-over-year increase in order to reach the 3% of the GDP in terms of expenses in R&D. So we are very, very eager and determined to continue towards that direction, because we truly believe that Greece has all of the necessary ingredients in order to become the main center of research and innovation in the Balkans and Southeastern Europe. One of our flagship projects is the creation of an innovation district in Attica. An innovation district is a physical ground where you have startups, spin-offs, companies that invest in R&D, universities, research centers, and you try to cultivate the conditions in order to create the necessary synergies that will flourish research and innovation. We recently do have an international public bid on air in the following months. In the first 3 months of 2023, we hope to have the final bidder. It's the main project of research and innovation in Greece at the moment, and we are very confident that we will attract important international players in order to establish an innovation district in Greece, which will attract talented individuals and scientists not only from Greece, but from the wider European region.
You recently visited San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken, with Minister Fagogiannis as well, and 7 companies also with you. And you had several meetings with institutional investors, but also you had, the opportunity to visit the Plug and Play there and some companies as well. What's your impression from this trip? And have you identified any best practice that we can bring to the country here?
One of the best practices actually is bringing Plug and Play to Greece, but we were very happy that we were hosted in Plug and Play in California. Yes, it's an amazing place to be in. It's actually a very vibrant place. Silicon Valley is a vibrant place because you see very competitive ideas, very smart individuals, but people teaming up and creating synergies in the innovation ecosystem. So the reason that we did plan the trip to California was because we wanted to increase the extroversity of the Greek ecosystem. That's why it was not only G2G meetings or even G2B meetings. We actually had 6 startups with us. They had the opportunity to pitch to some of the VC funds, to make some necessary contacts with some other companies. But at the same time, the government was very much interested to see some other best practices, like Swiss Next, for example. Those are actually important infrastructure that countries have actually created in the Bay Area in order to enable and promote startups from their countries or other companies from their countries to build the necessary bridges with an innovation ecosystem in the US. So we did get a lot of feedback. We are trying to do our homework very carefully in order to not only study best practices but actually apply them, so we can multiply the positive effects of the Greek economy and of the Greek innovation ecosystem, and as I said, with a lot of extroversity, because you cannot have a startup ecosystem that is only based at a national level. Startups by definition have to be competitive at an international stage.
Exactly. Do you think, Minister Dimas, do you think that the investments from technological giants that have already started in Greece, like Microsoft, Pfizer, Cisco, Deloitte, Amazon, Google, mean a vote of confidence for your policy as a government? And why would a large technological multinational choose our country today?
Okay,
Sorry, can I add also something? Because also this kind of companies, they are looking also to the startup community, because at the end, they want to have, let's say, an ecosystem. So,
okay, when I was a child, one of my dreams was actually to time travel, going back to the ancient times.
Wow.
One of the periods I wouldn't want to visit, though, would be 2015. And I'm saying that actually to show the change of policy in the country in the last year. So we were in a very deep financial crisis. As a result, we had a lot of brain drain, people leaving the country because they were unable of finding a decent job within Greece. So when we did become government in 2019, one of the main priorities we had set was to repatriate some of the people that left the country during the financial crisis. In order to repatriate them, you had to create good job opportunities. So we had to very quickly to create a much friendlier business environment, and we're very happy that the Economist Intelligence Unit did actually rate Greece by far the #1 country with the largest improvement in the business environment in the last year. And we're very proud that we do have a very important record of investment year by year since 2019. But in order to do that, we did promote some important reforms in the country. So attracting companies like Pfizer, Cisco, Google, Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, Applied Materials, companies that would create good job opportunities was a priority. We're very happy that we have attracted them, but allow me to say that we don't only want talented Greek individuals to become employees of multinational companies. I used to work for a multinational company, and I was very proud of it, but we also want to unleash the talent that they have, and that's why cultivating a strong innovation ecosystem is such an important strategic priority for the government. And these two together fit in very well. So you do create an environment that helps the innovation ecosystem flourish. You have improved significantly the business environment, attracting important investments, FDI, but also Greek companies that further invest, especially in R&D. And this creates more and more job opportunities. And that's why in the last year, we're proud to say that we have created more than 260,000 new job opportunities. And indeed, we have seen some Greeks coming back to the country. This is something that has to do with mentality, and I really agree on that. Because up until recently, we did have the mentality in Greece that if you fail in your first entrepreneurial attempt, that you have failed utterly. And this is actually wrong. And I completely agree with your statement that you learn even through your failure, and it makes you much better as an entrepreneur, as a manager. So in other countries, they even have sayings that you need to fail in your first attempt in order to become a successful entrepreneur. This is something that in Greece we are we are attempting to change this mentality. It is extremely important, and it does start at the house level from families in Greece, but the role of education, school and university is extremely important also.
I think right now we are on the way, let's say the road for the growth of startup community with no return. I mean, we have a vision here. What is your biggest fear here for the next years to come? Do you think there might be some impediments in this road? And what are you afraid? I mean, are there any fears you have that this might not work the way that you're visioning it?
You always have fears, but I have to say I'm rather optimistic. And as I said, the main goal is to unleash the talent that the Greek people have, change the mentality, change the spirit, and make all Greeks believe that they are capable of being competitive at a global scale, whether they are in Athens, in Thessaloniki, in Corinth, or in Crete, at a global stage. So I cannot identify a fear, to be honest. What I can see is that we do have all of the potential to truly become a leader in research and innovation in Southeastern Europe?
That was a trap question, by the way. Anyway, the control here tell us that we need to conclude.